I got a letter. Actually, that's true. I got a letter. I got a letter from what I thought was a concerned fan. Because my address at the time had been posted up, because at the time I didn't have a P.O. box number, which I do now, for people that donate comics, and it had been posted online, and what I thought was a concerned fan sent me a message saying, I'm afraid for your life here. You should move, and you should review a Sonic comic because they think you're a Sonic fanboy, furry thing, whatever. And the really funny, ironic thing was that I got this in the beginning of August, when I was already planning on reviewing a Sonic comic for the 100th episode, and I was already planning on moving out in the beginning of September. I have since learned that letter was actually written by a troll who just trying to scare me. But I just find that twistedly ironic because I think they also posted up that I convinced him to do this. I was already planning on doing this. Sonic comics are the most requested thing for me to do, and as I admitted at the end of the top 15 comics I'll never review, I don't care about Sonic. I don't. I'm sorry. I didn't watch Sonic Sat AM. It was never on for me. When I was a very little kid, I would occasionally catch Adventures of Sonic the Hedgehog when at 7 in the morning or something. That's my earliest memory of seeing it. But I don't care about Sonic. That's all I cared about were the Genesis games. I'm sorry. I know there are a lot of Sonic comic fans on my blog, but I don't care. I honestly, really don't. And you know what? If you like it, that's great. I'm happy for you. I'm glad that you read comic books. Any comic books. But it's just not my thing. I'm not interested. I'm sorry. But, I figured the 100th review corresponding with me moving out and would be a great thing. A new start, a new set. Yeah, new set. It's a new wall. And if you notice the lighting changing all the time, that's because at the time, all I had were the two lamps to light everything. My office was very sparse at the time. All it had was the futon and the two lamps, and I was just constantly trying to adjust it, trying to figure out the best way to make it work. And this Living Illusion sent me a rock version of the theme song, of my theme song, and I thought that would be great for the 100th episode, commemorating it. And the cover reviews of every comic I've reviewed, with the exception of a countdown, because I'm not going to be able to fit in 52 individual comic covers in there. And of course, top 15 lists and whatnot I can't have covers for. But Sonic comics. I knew I wanted to review a Sonic comic at one point. The problem is, since so many of my fans love Sonic comics, I don't want to piss them off. I love my fans because I couldn't do this job without my fans, so I don't want to upset them. I don't want to, insult the people who watch my show, like what sometimes happens in movies or television shows or comic books. Cough, Superboy Prime, cough. I want to respect them, so I had to figure out a Sonic comic that was universally loathed. Everybody hated it. And fortunately, that came in the form of Sonic Live. I don't think I've seen a single positive review anywhere for this thing. It's just stupid. It doesn't make any sense. It's not a good story in itself. It seems confused and rushed and rewritten, and there's live action photos of the writer's or artist's niece and nephew, and no, that's not it's not a good comic at all. For the 100th review, I want to do something special. I did not want it to be a storyline video. I wanted it to be something that I wanted to be a celebration, because I know a lot of people. I know the majority of my fans like the storyline. I love the fact they love the storyline, but there's also a contingent of ones who don't like the storyline, and I'm fine with that. This is why there's always a review in every episode. As a result, though, I did not want the 100th episode to be a storyline one. I wanted it to be a celebration for all the fans of Atop the Fourth Wall. So I wanted it to be a straight-up review with some comedy bits everywhere in. Though the funny thing is, I think what I find so incredibly funny about this is that Doug, the Nostalgia Critic, me, and Brad Jones, the Cinema Snob, all hit our 100th episodes roughly around the same time, even though we all started at different points. I think Brad started like 3 or 4 years ago. I'm pretty sure he was pre-Nostalgia Critic. Doug hit his... You know, he tries to be weekly, but he can't always get it out. I have been weekly since the beginning of 2009, I believe. I don't think I've missed a single episode during all that. Even when I was away, I'd have to record a second one or something like that. So yeah, I was kind of rushing this because the problem was I was always half moving in to the new apartment. I had my computer and everything like that was for the top 15 was back at my parents' place. The futon was here because the futon needed to go first. So I was just rushing to try to get the episode done with, and I'd have to like move between 2 different places to do that. The good news was that I was making enough money off of the show at this point to not have another job to worry about. But it meant I was constantly... But the other thing was, in addition to my computer not being at the new apartment, I also did not have... internet access at the apartment. I think my dad had a Wi-Fi card or something that I used with my laptop. Let's see. But yeah, the opening bit was basically, okay, I'm in a new situation. Let's milk as much comedy as we can out of this situation, just because there's a new location and all that. One thing that I really liked was for Angry Joe's birthday, Phalis did a bit where he took over Joe's old set, and it had an automatic self-destruct sequence whenever anything was invaded, and I really liked that bit. So I asked him to do a green screen cameo to take care of my old set, and I thought it made a valid excuse because I kept running into crap at my old place, and I figured, hey, I'll get away from the old place and all that nonsense will stop. It hasn't. And as people have pointed out, this kid is not using any kind of controller. He's using a remote control for his controller, like the TV remote. So, what the hell? They couldn't spring for an actual Sega Genesis for him to hold? The Babylon 5 reference right here. I see a great hand reaching out of the stars. Oh, yes. Babylon 5, back when JMS was gold. I'm still not sure what the hell actually happened, so apparently you can kill Sonic, but he'll just get transported into the Matrix. Let's see, other stuff that happened in the beginning. I wanted to establish that Liz and I were living together. Hence why she was moving boxes in, and she was just like, okay, I got another set of toys. Like, I'm making her do all the work. Mostly because I always flip-flop about the Linkara character, whether or not he's an actual hero or not. I like to think of him, he's a hero, but he's kind of an asshole. I mean, he's the kind of person who he's a product of his generation. His generation will be kind of snarky and jerky, but in the end he'll do the right thing, and he always wants to do the right thing, but that doesn't mean he won't have some fun along the way. And so he'll unleash his spaceship on people, but he won't kill them. Basically, he'll just have the spaceship hover over their house, put the fear of God into them because, hey, he's got a spaceship. But basically he's lazy and he's not. I mean, he obviously does a lot of work, but it's the fun kind of work. Hey, I'll build a tricorder, or I'll build a phaser, but I won't actually move boxes. And playing up my addiction to Power Rangers toys, which not really that much of an addiction as much as all these Power Rangers toys make for excellent props. They do. They make for excellent props for fight scenes, and I'm a huge Power Rangers fan. And I had stuffed all my morphers into a single box, so it made for a convenient gag there. I can quit whenever I want! But yeah, celebration of the 100th episode. Want to be it special. Lighting is changing all the time. I think actually when this review started out, I loved that lighting the most, but I haven't been able to recreate it. But that's fine. I mean, everything's now all well lit and looks nice and stuff. But like in between takes, I kept moving the lights around because all I had was the viewfinder, and anyone with a camera will tell you that things don't look the same as they do on a viewfinder in the final product. For the review itself, I think I stayed up until like 4 in the morning the night before trying to write it. Not that I didn't think I was funny. The problem with a lot of this stuff is coming up with jokes. Like, you have the setup, you have something there, you know there's a joke right there, but you need to think of what the joke is. And multimodal reflection sorting. I love that bit of technobabble. That is the worst bit of technobabble I've ever heard, which is ironic because it comes from the best episode of Next Generation. Multimodal reflection sorting. I still have no idea what the hell it actually means. It's 3 words strung together. And it annoys the hell out of me. Utilizing multimodal reflection sorting. And another thing that bugs me about comics is when they have multiple parts within the same comic. What's the point? This is not a novel. It's not something that requires multiple chapters within a single issue. You know, with books, yeah, it makes sense. Books are long. There's like 70 to 100,000 words in a novel. Sometimes. I'm guessing off the top of my head. They need to have, natural breaking points in the story. Comics do not. Comics are 22 pages, maybe if, you get maybe a 100-page giant special one. Not a 22-page comic. You don't need parts. It's pointless. It serves no purpose whatsoever other than to elevate the story into something that it's not. A comic book is not a novel. It's a SWAT bot. I love how the kid has like that Mo Howard haircut there too. Like, they really did not draw them very well. Oh, Sonic. I think the last new Sonic game I played was Sonic Spinball. Oh, not Sonic Spinball. I liked Sonic Spinball. It was a Sonic 3D Blast. I think that pretty much, soured any hope for any other Sonic games in the future. That, my lack of consoles, after a Nintendo 64. I did eventually get a GameCube, but only like, years after the fact. I actually liked the original Adventures of Sonic the Hedgehog. I did not think it was actually all that bad. It wasn't good, but in a I always thought of it more of a Looney Tunes kind of wackiness to it. Like I said, I don't think it's especially. It's certainly not anything great, and I'm sure Sonic Sat AM was actually like beautiful and brilliant and wonderful, but I didn't watch it. And the Gatorade. By this point, I had started to drink Gatorade during my videos. It was Grape G2 Gatorade. Because I wanted the low-calorie stuff. I liked the lemon lime Gatorade. I can't believe I'm talking about frickin' Gatorade during my commentary of the 100th episode. Why I think, Robotnik really has a problem in that he always looks goofy. Always. I don't think there's a single incarnation of Robotnik that actually looks menacing. I mean, he's a big fat dude with a comically large mustache. And what the hell are those things on the side of his head? I mean, does he not have ears anymore? Does he have just, like, speaker things? But yeah, it was difficult to write certain jokes because just at some points I felt like I knew there was a joke there, but I couldn't figure out what the joke was. In the end, I think the end product of this really turned out well. And they keep grabbing Sonic. He keeps doing the bicycle kicks. Good vibrations. I used the same joke during the Vice fight. I just realized. No, it's because it's an obvious pun. But yeah, I didn't want to have any fight scene. I didn't want to fight Sonic. I didn't want to have anything like that. I needed to put the 100th episode together really quickly, but I needed to make it special. Because hey, it's 100 episodes. The fact that I actually reached 100 episodes is, I think, a pretty big milestone. And I'm recording this a week before I'm going to make the 150th episode. I'm still amazed that I've actually lasted this long. But that is once again a testament to my fans, my wonderful, awesome fans who watch week after week, and I really appreciate it. That's a countdown underway, Jesse. We have to decipher the hieroglyphics. I don't get... What? Those aren't hieroglyphics. They're a bunch of computer consoles, and by we mean Sonic, because he's super fast. You know, the kids don't do a single damn thing in this story. I mean, in the next part, they play a minor role with the level select code, but otherwise, why did you even include them? There is no point to them in this story. None. They do nothing. I mean, was this supposed to make us feel like we were part of the action? It doesn't. I can't imagine little kids feeling that way because they'd just be jealous of the two little morons who managed to get in there. What's the point? And why is this Sonic Live? Why call it Sonic Live? It's not live, it's a frickin' comic book. There is nothing to this. Oh, and the trans-dimensional portal. He ends up in another dimension where Sonic is just a video game. Maybe that's the... I don't know what the point of the Sonic Live thing is. And they keep flip-flopping about whether or not Robotnik, you know, recruits other versions of himself or just builds robot versions of himself. But why would he build robot versions of himself when he can just, you know, build more robots and he has the robots surrounding them? I don't see the point of this. This story is something that does not need to be told. I can't imagine like any real Sonic fans would be excited about this. Oh, and is this a case of time moving differently in the other universes? He set up this operation pretty damn quickly. Yeah, I get it. Multiple universes, right? So multiple Robotniks. That makes sense. Again, the radical change in the art style. I'm not sure what the point of that was either. I mean, I get, you know, different universes, different art styles. That is fine. But why this particular one? And these two are not the people who invented Sonic. They're not. I can't remember the names of the people, but I looked it up. They're not the same names. They don't look Japanese. Sonic the Hedgehog is Japanese, right? I guess they'll say in the comments. Yeah, what was the point of this? Yeah, for any like big milestone episodes, like the end of a storyline or something like 100th, 150th, I want to keep the episode title secret. Mostly for suspense. I want people to like speculate and wonder, what am I gonna do? So I think I did well for this one. I don't know what I'm gonna do for the 200th. I've started thinking about it. Some people, I think some people have recommended that I do the Sonic and Image Comics crossover, which I have a few copies of now. There's no need to send me any more. But I haven't decided how I'm gonna do that. I will explain why I have the Power Rangers and Star Trek tech someday. I promise. I have come up with a backstory for it. But yeah, I just don't see the point of this comic, and I don't know what I'm gonna do for the 200th. I don't know about doing the Sonic Image Comics crossover for that. It's not a bad idea, but at the same time, I don't want like to be a thing every 100th episode I review a Sonic comic. And for 200th, I want to do something that's like something that appeals more to me. The 100th episode was for the fans. 200th, I think I want to do something more for me, something that appeals to me. I'm doing that for the 150th episode. But I'm trying to think about what. I have considered doing One More Day. I know, I don't want to do One More Day. There's nothing to say about One More Day that I haven't said already. The robot Robotniks are about to zap the real Robotnik. So what? Let him die. He's the cruel dictator of your planet. Why? Just let him die. You don't need him anymore. I'm reminded of Kirk from Star Trek 6. Let them die. I don't get how this works. This comic is a mess. Major mess. Punch in the access code in the control pad. How does shutting down the dimensional thing stop the robots? I don't get it. Well, even if you were to admit that the kid, served a purpose here, the girl did not. She didn't do anything. I mean, this boy at least, knew the code. I mean, again, the programmers knew the code, but the girl did nothing. She was just there because I guess we needed a girl. Why? Why does this exist? Oh, and the Carly Simon thing. Okay, for some reason, I thought someone else did Nobody Does It Better. I don't know why, but my parents caught it at the last second when I screened the episode for them. And they said, no, Carly Simon does the song. And I was like, crap! So I ran upstairs back into my old room and just re-recorded Carly Simon and dubbed it over. And of course, my lips don't match up to it. There's nothing I can do about it. I couldn't re-record it. The episode was going up the next day. It's the new Sonic game cartridge. Let's see what he's up to now. What? This story didn't need to exist. And the other two stories are harmless. I think people were praising the Knuckles story, and that's the only thing that's been reprinted in trade format. Oh, this story. This was a bad one. It should always, anytime I have the milestones, it should be a bad one. It should be something major and momentous. But, and then leading into the final bit, everyone singing the theme song. I emailed everybody like 3 or 4 months in advance because I knew this is what I wanted to do for the 100th episode. Everybody singing my theme song. Just a line from it. Most everyone replied and said they would do it, and I was like pestering people until last second. I called 8-Bit Mickey and had him recorded after he got home from like a convention or something, and he looks dead tired in it. That chick with the goggles was going to do it, and she was enthusiastic about it, but then what happened was that apparently she was wrong about the timing of it. She thought it was going to happen much later. So unfortunately, there was nothing I could do about that. Liz had just gotten out of the shower for this shot, which is why her hair looks all wet and stuff. Unfortunately, because I was also rushing to get the 100th, to get all the stuff done with, all of my stuff like Harvey, he has a magic gun. Yeah, Harvey, 90s Kid and whatnot, they're off key because of the fact that I was rushing. I was trying to get it done with as quickly as I could. So I didn't have time to record a whole bunch of versions of it, which is sad, but the people who can sing really well, it's obvious they can sing really well. Kat was a really good singer. For some of these, I had to alter the speed in which they did it. For example, Joe's stuff it sounded fine, but it wasn't fast enough to match up with the music. Lord Cat, the audio didn't record properly. What's his name? Gonzo. There was something wrong with his video stuff, or like he couldn't record video, so he recorded audio with me. But yeah, I wanted everybody on the site to do it, and fortunately I had the other characters, and I had some people do multiple ones, different sections here and there, so that they could fill in the little bits. I had them fill in the little bits so that they could, in case someone didn't want to do it or they were unable to do it, I had, other options to work with. And I think it worked out very well. In the next 100, Silent Hill, Transformers Ultimatum, Justice League Cry for Justice, Brute Force, X-Force, many kinds of force. more requested comics, more PSAs, and of course, Neutro! And I knew I was going to fulfill that promise with the Power Rangers Zeo review. Because I had commissioned the prop lady to make the Power Rangers Zeo #1 costume. And, sorry, not to make the Neutro costume. So I knew I was going to do that, so that was just my hint. Yeah, it's coming. Neutro is returning. I still need to figure out what the hell I'm going to do with that Neutro costume now. Yep, theme song performed by Living Illusion. Great big thanks to them, and of course, a great big thanks to everyone at Channel Awesome for this, for giving me the chance to do over 100 episodes of this show, and for helping me out when I needed you to with this. Oh, one thing I will say, I love the Sonic Sat AM theme song. That's just really energetic, and it's a great tune. So I may not have watched the show, but damn, I like that song. It's a good song. And just at the very end, after the Ink Reality logo, the most prevalent memory in my mind of Sonic is just that opening bit, Sega. And with that, thank you for listening.